Hey everyone, and welcome to the Week 5 review, Week 6 preview of the 2025-2026 season. As always, I'm joined by Joel Gibson. How are you, Joel Gibson?
I'm fucking swell, man. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm your champion. Hold up trophy is obligatory at this point. I mean, you know, like I just told you before we came on, I'm so used to holding this trophy. It's like a second part of me, Joel Gibson.
Yeah, I love hearing it both times.
With that being said, we'll get right into the champs matchup. Uh, yeah, I beat Jake. He's the worst team in the league. It's not really a surprise, but what I do want to point out is over 1,000 in a week, and Kyle also did this, over 1,000 in a week without cycling. I don't think Kyle cycled. He can't afford to cycle. But LeBron's back. I still have Jalen Williams, who's likely a top 4 scorer on my team. Joker, he had a 40-point game. Harden had a 50-point game. I mean, we are rolling on all cylinders right now, Joel Gibson. I know you're excited to see it. Pumped. And I wanted to point out, and I wanted to ask you, did you see the Messenger this week where everybody is slowly starting to decide that I'm the actual villain in the league, Joel Gibson?
I did see that. I just hope that narrative sticks and people people really realize you've been the bad guy the whole time.
The whole time? You had multiple championships before I started going on the run. After
was gracious champion.
You were not a gracious champion. You were not at all. That's BS. Jake moves to 0-5. I moved to 4-1. Still pretty good record. Bum the streak's over, but only 2 losses in the last 2 years. I'm gonna take it. Okay, and we're gonna move to 1 after December 17th. Once that second loss gets wiped off, it'll still only be 1 loss in the last 2 years. So looking forward to that. Next matchup, we have Cody versus Doug. Cody is now trying to tank. So what I'd like to do here is just take a moment and really lay out what's happening here at this point. Doug moves to 5-0. Congratulations, Doug. I don't know why Fantrax grades it as a 13-0 victory. When technically turnovers is tied, it should be a 12.5. But if you don't play a player, I guess you don't win turnovers. Even though there's a little green circle. It doesn't make any sense to me as far as Fantrax tracking goes. Now, Cody has 2 wins right now. There are 4 teams below him, and there are still 4 teams below him after this week as far as wins go. It would be terrible if somebody away against Cody would let him win one and really ruin it. But what Cody's going for is 2 top 5 picks next year. Top 4, actually. That's certainly a strategy. I feel like that if you were doing this, or if Doug or anybody was doing it, I would also call attention to it. So it's nothing personal against Cody. It's clearly a strategy that he's going after. So we're going to see how it goes. It's definitely something that's super interesting. Not only will he have himself, but he'll also have Steven in the bottom 4. That little play tournament could be very interesting again at the end of the year. I'm worried that we're going to get to the end of this season, Joel, and the bottom 4 is going to be a little bit more interesting than the top 4 this year. I'm deeply concerned that that's going to happen for the second year in a row. It's kind of what I wanted to happen, but at the same time not, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you are kind of a bitch. But for Cody...
What? That made no sense.
You're worried. You don't need to worry.
Okay.
This is an interesting strategy. He's got Luka in a prime year, but he doesn't have Jason Tatum. So I understand the strategy. Obviously, it worked out for me last year with Cooper Flag.
Yep.
Doug is cooking right now, and Cody's going to be a problem, not this year, but down the line.
Absolutely. I think even next year. And him and Doug might want to get right on that right away, because I can think of at least one team that in the next 2 years might be a real problem for everybody. Next matchup, speaking of which, is Adam versus Joel. Joel pulls off the win here against Adam. I mean, it's so tough because I really think that if Adam wanted to beat you and cycled, he would have beaten you. And so I'm really frustrated with it a little bit. Like, it's one of those things where if he'd have forced you to spend money, you don't want to drop players at this point. You like your team. There's no reason that you'd be out there dropping and cycling. So I think you're weak in that aspect. But at the end of the day, you got this win. I'm sure you feel excited about it.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Got a little win streak going here. How many wins do you have in a row?
How many wins do I have in a row? I'm up to 2 wins in a row, Joe Gibson.
Man, that does not sound like the longest winning streak in the league. I'm not saying that I'm the longest winning streak in the league. That would be Doug. Team to beat,
And Kyle.
But your winning streak is, fucking down there.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. It really is. And I tell you, my team's real bummed about it as we're starting to get healthy. And, our ads are starting to look a little pretty shiny at this point. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, you're right. My win streak is low, but my championship count is high, my friend.
As for Adam's team, he's down a couple guys. Stephen Castle has been really good this year. I don't think he played a game all year. I meant to say all week. And Yusuf Nurkic continues to just kind of put up good numbers ever since I shit on him in a video like 2 weeks ago. So Adam's not a pushover. He kept this close until about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, and I've said this before, I think Adam's just 1 or 2 more pieces away from really contending. And I stand by that. So it's one of those things where maybe a trade or something, we have no idea, but Adam's right there if you ask me. Next matchup is CJ versus Neiman. CJ going hard with the free agency money this week. He's down to $21 free agency, but he does get the win against Neiman here. Moves to 4-1 and sends Neiman down to 3-2. You're 3-2 as well. Adam is 2-3. Yeah. CJ is winning. He got Kawhi back today. Kawhi's not going to play back-to-backs moving forward anyway. But losing AG, I believe he has AG, correct?
Yeah, that's Matt.
That's Matt? CJ traded AG to Matt. Damn, I thought my post today was a little bit more, it was funnier than I thought it was. Shout out to CJ for winning. He moves to 4-1, still off to, for what I can remember, one of his best starts. Free agency money is quickly becoming a problem, though. And Neiman has $149. So I don't know what was going on as far as cycling with Neiman here. Adam, Neiman, Eric, all 3 of these teams, every week we're talking about cycling. I'm just frustrated. Like, are we playing here, gentlemen, or are we not playing? Because the reason why things aren't exciting is because nobody's cycling and actually competing. There's 3 teams right there that could have made things exciting this week. And they chose not to, That's fine, but when you get to the playoffs, Neiman, you're not going to spend $10 on every fucking ad, me personally, I don't get it. I don't get it. These matchups are close enough. Adam could have beat you this week. Neiman could have beat CJ if he had chosen to. Eric beat Steven this week. But by the skin of his teeth, that's the next matchup. Eric gets his first win. He didn't need to cycle this week, but it all cycles back, pun intended, to if we're going to have competitive mid-level matchups, we have to have competitive cycling, especially with teams that have the free agency money. Steven's just too beat up at this point. Not really much to say about this other than Eric gets his first win. Steven moves to 0-5. The last matchup is Matt versus Kyle. Kyle beat Matt. Matt has no reason to cycle. He doesn't have his pick either. But a lot of his players, it just depends on who he wants to go after. Maybe he's trying to be strategic and sneak into the playoffs. I have no idea, but I have a lot more confidence in Matt cycling and just choosing whether he makes the right decisions or not. If he's going to go after a win, he's going to cycle if he wants the win. So I don't group him into that group that I said earlier. I'm just trying to promote competition. I'm not trying to ramble about it or anything like that. It's just like we could be more competitive. We could see matches that are more competitive and things happening. And it just takes a little effort. Anything on those 3 matchups as I skipped over you for 3 full matchups, Joel Gibson?
Had a nice little sneezing fit there. That was cool. No, I mean, not much to say about Matt's team. Just beat to shit, and Kyle had his way with him. Same thing for Steven, unfortunately. And I second everything you said about the cycling. I also am not cycling, but it's a strategy of my own. And I don't know that the people that are not cycling have the same strategy in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that anybody's ever accused you of not cycling to be competitive. That's for sure. I don't think that that's anybody's top complaint about Joel Gibson. I can think of several top complaints about Joel Gibson, but one of them is not his inability to cycle to win a matchup.
This is the first one that I'm too handsome.
No, it's not. It's really not. That's never been anybody's first complaint about Joel Gibson. All right, with that being said, we head into Thanksgiving week. No games on Thursday, so only 6 playable days this week. For those that care, you do still have, I believe, 7 cycles this week. I don't think Fantrax takes that into account. Some teams care, other teams don't, I guess. First matchup is number 3, Mr. Modest, 4-1 at number 11, Steven. Steven just has no chance here. I'm sorry, Steven. He's too injured, and I am not injured. And word on the street is Jay Will might even be back this week. And if I'm fully healthy, unfortunately, Steven, this just isn't your week. But I do wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Eat lots of food, big fella.
Yeah, I'm also picking you. I don't want to, but like you said, Steven's just too beat up right now. He's without his best player and probably his second best player and probably games from his third best player amongst others. So I'm going to pick you.
Excellent. Next matchup is probably matchup of the week and most interesting to me. Number 2, Kyle versus number 4, CJ. Kyle being 5-0 here and CJ being 4-1, but both of them having extreme free agency money issues. Kyle has 14, CJ has 21 left. So we'll see which one of these guys are going to cycle. Are they going to strategically cycle? Who's going to go for this win here? CJ being the home team, I think might have a minor advantage, but Kyle putting up monster numbers again this week without really having to cycle. I didn't look. We are shooting this a little early. He and I were very close in points. And I'm hoping that I caught him, and I'm just going to look as we're sitting here. 10-28, and Kyle has... 10-29. So we are within 1 point of each other for highest of the week. Man, Kyle can't cycle. If CJ wants this win, he can probably have this win, being healthy enough, and I don't think the Clippers have any back-to-backs. So I think CJ could have it if he wants it. If neither cycle, I give the advantage to Kyle.
There's also no Durant for 2 games this week. And that's pretty big for Kyle.
It's very big. That's what I mean. If CJ wants this win, he can have it. If they both don't cycle, I think Kyle has the edge.
I'm going to pick I'm gonna pick CJ, but I'm gonna hope he loses.
That's just because you have his pick. You're very biased there, Joel Gibson.
I mean, yes.
I also want to call this right now. I think that CJ and Joel are first round matchup in the playoffs this year. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. But we're going to see how this turns out. But I think it's going to be Joel CJ first round matchup. So just keep that in mind, CJ, as you move forward. You also are holding Joel's pick at the same time. So I don't really know what to do in your situation, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, I'm gonna. What's that?
I think you mean I'm holding his pick.
That's what I said, isn't it?
You said he's holding my pick, I think.
Okay, well, you're holding his pick. The worse he does, the better you do, if the correction's necessary. Next matchup is Matt versus Neiman. I have Neiman at 6 and Matt at 10. I think Neiman wins this matchup at home. I really don't see how Matt does it. Although, if Neiman's not paying attention, maybe Matt can come up with a cycle strategy. But without Aaron Gordon for the 4 to 6 weeks, that's a real problem. I'm still going to take Neiman regardless. But I don't know. I think Matt has a couple droppable players. He can go at it if he wants to.
Yeah, I'm also going to pick Neiman. Just, there isn't the depth right now with Matt's team. This is a team clearly in transition with some injuries right now, and I think Neiman will clean up.
Right. Next matchup is Adam number 7 versus Eric number 9. Adam 2 and 3, Eric 1 and 4. We get into this situation where both these teams are right in the mix with the 2-win situation that we got brewing at the bottom. I'm going to take Adam here. I don't even know. If Eric wanted to cycle, he could probably win. I'm not exactly sure. I thought Adam put up a solid week against me. I thought he put up a solid week against you. But a couple injuries to Adam are concerning. But I don't know what Eric's intention is. Does Eric have his own pick? I'm not even sure if he has his own pick.
Eric does have his own pick.
Okay, well, then at least I understand mildly as far as if he's going to try to get into the bottom 4 there. But I'm picking Adam. I'm staying by it, 7 versus 9.
Yeah, I'm picking Adam as well with no Giannis playing this, or at least I don't think he's playing this week, or he's at least going to miss a couple games. It looks like Porzingis is down again. Adam gave me a pretty good run for my money, and I think he will win this week.
Speaking of Porzingis, as you pointed it out, how many games has he played as a Hawk? Is it 2?
11.
Huh?
11.
11 games? Really? Holy shit, I have not been paying attention to the Hawks, clearly.
Yeah. 11?
I just feel like every time we talk about him, he's out. I gotta be... maybe he's just out at the end of every week, so when I look, he's out. But, wow, 11. I'm impressed. Next matchup is Joel versus Cody. I have Joel at 5 at 3 and 2 versus Cody at 8 at 2 and 3. Cody is just in the playoffs right now at 2 and 3. Joel is at 3 and 2 with a win streak of 3, I believe, as we were talking about it. Cody is definitely going to sit everybody, and Joel, you only need to play one player this week, so I'm going to go ahead and say you're going to win.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to win too. Darius Garland's back, and really I'm not far away from also being as healthy as I will be this year. This is a good week for my guys to get collected because we have some important matchups coming. Next week I'll be wearing my Tatum jersey just to thank Tatum for letting me snake by this week.
Yeah, interesting that Tatum is out and then also Halliburton's also out. That's nuts. Last matchup's pretty straightforward. Jake has not had his first win, number 12, against new number 1, by the way, Doug. I put Doug at number 1 this week because Kyle plays CJ 2 versus 4. I waited till the end. Here's the grand reveal, right? Doug, even without Wemby, is going to get it done this week. He's going to start at 6-0. I do not think that he's had that as good of a start as he's had this time. With Wemby and SGA, I think that he's in the upper top tier. I think it's going to be extremely interesting when he plays Kyle, when he plays you, when he plays me. We're going to see exactly where Doug stacks up. Hopefully he has Wemby for a couple of those matchups. If not, I'm not going to be upset, but I would like to gather some information.
Yeah, I think I play him the second week of December, so really not far off one of those big matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Jake, he's just going to get shafted this week, and Doug is going to keep on cruising.
Yeah, shout out to Doug. Okay, well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Anything else from you, Joel Gibson?
No, that's it for me.
Hey, all right. I apologize to everybody about the rant about competitiveness. I went a little deep on that, but I don't take anything back. I meant it. I said it. I meant it. That's it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll see ya.
Yeah.